I like my little small staging area food plots to be tucked just inside the cover from where the deer are going out into the bigger areas to feed. That way they serve as these perfect little staging areas. Poor man plot, anywhere up to ½ an acre. That'd be a pretty big one, but this one's probably about ¼ acre, which is ideal. You can handle that fairly well. First step now is going to be to clear it and get all the brush and the small trees and stuff out of it. And while I'm doing that, I'll talk some more about the whole strategy from start to finish on creating these poor man food plots. Basically all I'm doing in this stage with the chainsaw is taking out the stuff that's really too big to burn down. And by burn down, there's kind of two stages to that. First one is the chemical burn down with Roundup, and then the second one is the actual physical burn down, where we'll come back in 10 days to 2 weeks after I spray this. I'll spray it today. We'll come back in a couple of weeks. All this grass and leaves and stuff will be dead. We'll catch a nice dry day so that it'll burn well. We'll just start a little small fire and we'll just burn all this stuff right off. So you don't have to necessarily clean every little thing out, but there's some things here that are too big to burn. I mean, that tree, you know, it's got to go, that one. I mean, there's probably, I don't know, 50 more little trees in this ¼ acre that have to go out. And then after that, I mean, this kind of stuff here, I can spray that with Roundup and I can kill that, and it'll burn right up when we bring the fire to it in a couple of weeks after that. Well, that's the general strategy on this stage. I'm going to keep cutting some of these down. I've got about 75% of the brush cleared off this poor man's plot. I've got this edge right here leading down into this little corner to clean up. And then I'm gonna move on to the next stage. So let's talk about right now what the stages are for the poor man plot. Obviously location, we've talked about that a couple of times. Number 2 is to clear it. Number 3, spray it. Then you wait. You've got about a 10-day to 2-week period there for everything to really die and dry down. And for the fire to work, it has to be dry. It can't just be dead. A lot of times that Roundup will do a nice enough job of killing within a few days that if you were going to till it up, you could till it up a little bit early without the plant, you know, having gone through that whole cycle and turning brown. But when you're burning it with fire, you've got to get it all the way brown. So you're looking at a couple of weeks. And then after that comes the real fun part, and that's raking. Anything that's left on here, we rake through it, and that creates enough of a texture to the surface of the ground that when you spread the seed on it, it's going to be able to work its way through that very top layer and get a little bit better seed to soil contact when the rains come. So after raking, we spread fertilizer and we spread the seed. I'm going to be putting Wild Game Buffet in this one from Frigid Forage, and it's a combination of clover with some brassicas in it, and that's going to create a nice, because I'm not going to come in and mow this thing right away, so it's going to create a nice little transitional food plot with the brassicas coming up a little bit faster and creating more forage early, and then the clovers kind of follow in behind that. We've tried the poor man plot twice now. We've had them both drought out. I mean, it doesn't mean that the work that we did clearing it was wasted, but the seedings themselves didn't take because they were on ridges, and the 2 droughts we've had these past 2 summers have basically killed those poor man plots. So before the spring is over, we're going to go back in and get those things kind of refreshed and ready to go again too, because I don't want all the work that we did doing all the clearing to go to waste. Plus I want to be able to hunt over those spots. So that's the plan here. That's the whole plan, I guess, to how these projects work. We call them poor man plots because we don't use very much power equipment. The only thing that has a motor in it is that chainsaw. So that's kind of why we say these things can be produced really by anybody, almost anywhere. Obviously you got to have a little small clearing to start with, but you know, if I can do this being 50 years old and stumbling around out here, I'm pretty sure that you can do it too. And they're not that expensive. It's something that's really going to improve your hunting area.